It's night. School has just ended. Little Nina steps outside, looking for her mother. She had promised to pick her up. Just then, her mother calls and says she can't come. This makes Nina upset. Seeing other children leaving with their parents, she feels even more disappointed. So, she gets on a bus and heads home. Her house is a short distance from the bus stop, so she starts walking alone on a deserted road, in the rain. Just then, a black car pulls up beside her. She hesitates for a moment, then gets in. The car stops in the community parking lot. Nina grabs her school bag and runs toward home. But she never makes it home. Now, a few days have passed since this incident. Nina's mother is in the kitchen, chopping vegetables. Just then, Nina enters the house, her clothes soaked in mud. But the moment she opens the door, her mother's face fills with fear. Her hands start trembling. Nina says, "Mom, I'm home." But her mother is so scared that she can't even look at her. Nina quietly goes into her room. Her mother just stands there, frozen, with tears in her eyes. It is revealed that Nina died 8 days ago. That very night, someone kidnapped her, killed her, and dumped her body inside a suitcase. For the past week, Nina's spirit has been coming back to the house like this every night, scaring her mother, Julia. Julia, who is Nina's stepmother, believes that if she had gone to pick her up that night, Nina would still be alive. She feels like Nina's spirit is blaming her for her death. Meanwhile, a suitcase shop owner is shocked when he sees a suitcase on the news that was found at a crime scene. He realizes it's the same suitcase that was bought from his shop a few days earlier, the one in which Nina's body was found. He recalls the man who bought it. The man didn't even bargain and paid with a check that had the name Jason on it. The shopkeeper starts thinking about calling the police and reporting it, but his wife tells him not to get involved. Meanwhile, a pizza delivery boy named Tom delivers a pizza to Jason's house. He starts to notice that something feels off about Jason. Jason keeps ordering from the same shop every 10 days. That's when it turns out Jason is actually a serial killer. Whenever he's about to kill someone, he celebrates by ordering a pizza. So, after kidnapping Nina that night, he ordered a pizza for her. And after Nina ate the pizza, he killed her. Then, we see a girl named Lily. She looks very similar to Nina, which ends up confusing the delivery guy. Coincidentally, she also lives in the same complex as Nina. Lily's mother, Olga, is the maintenance manager there. While watching the news, Tom learns that women are being murdered in the same area every 10 days. This 10-day pattern immediately reminds him of Jason, who also orders pizza every 10 days. When Tom checks the order history, he realizes that the pizza was always ordered the night before the body was found. Meanwhile, Julia, constantly living in fear, tells her husband that they should leave the area. But he is still overwhelmed with grief over their daughter's death, so he ignores her concern. He tells Julia that her visions of Nina are just hallucinations. Another character named Johnny also becomes part of the story. He lives in the same complex. Johnny is a bit of a bossy and aggressive guy. He gives people loans, and then gets his money back by beating them. Because of this, the police have arrested him multiple times, and they already have his fingerprints and DNA samples on record. This makes it easier to catch him if he ever gets involved in any crime. Johnny's gangster-like behavior also creates problems for the people living in the complex. He has his own parking spot, and no one else dares to park there. Meanwhile, Olga is upset with her assistant, Gary, for not handling the garbage properly, which has already led to complaints from several flat owners. One day, Jason parks his car in Johnny's parking spot. This makes Johnny furious, and he immediately tells Jason to move his car. Johnny has a habit of spitting whenever he gets angry. He warns Jason that if he ever sees Jason's car in his parking spot again, he'll punch him in the face. Jason, on the other hand, decides that one day, he will take revenge on Johnny. One day, while Gary goes to throw away the garbage from the flat, he smells rotten meat coming from a bag. Meat and rotten food aren't allowed in the bin. He gets angry and goes to Jason's house, since the bag came from there. Gary tells Jason that rotten food can't be thrown in the bin, but Jason responds in a strange way. Now Gary opens the bag and finds Nina's school dress. As soon as he sees it, Gary realizes that Jason killed Nina. But it's too late. Jason suddenly hits his head with a piece of wood. Gary's blood spreads across the corridor floor. Jason, being smart, smashes a red wine bottle on the floor and starts cleaning it up. For a moment, Julia, who is passing by, thinks it's blood. But when she sees the broken red wine bottle, she stops worrying. Julia's apartment is right across from Jason's. So Nina was living right next to Jason. The complex also has a night security guard named Danny. He's kind of a strange person. He constantly senses a well-dressed spirit hovering around him, which is actually Denny's mind. Later, it becomes clear whose spirit it is and why it only appears to Denny. Every night at 10 p.m., Nina's spirit comes into the house, scaring Julia. But looking into Nina's eyes, it's clear that she's not just there to scare Julia, she wants something more from her. Then, it is revealed how Jason trapped Nina in his apartment that night. We also learn that Lily and Denny are friends. Around this time, Tom starts to grow suspicious of Jason, and it begins to bother him constantly. He notices Jason in a photo taken at the crime scene. Now, his suspicions are confirmed. Jason is the killer, carrying out all the murders in his own home. Meanwhile, Gary's disappearance has Danny worried, since he's been forced to handle Gary's errands. Olga is also concerned about Gary going missing. Now, Jason needs a large bag to dispose of Gary's body. So, he goes back to the luggage shop. The owner, Joseph, recognizes him immediately. This time, Jason buys 2 bags. But Joseph's behavior makes it clear that he is suspicious of Jason. Julia goes to the garage to collect her car. The mechanic gives her a box he had found inside it. It contains a hairband that Julia had bought to give Nina that night, because Nina had lost hers. This shows that Julia was trying to get closer to Nina. But before that can happen, this tragedy occurs. Danny notices that the water bill for flat number 102 is unusually high. Jason lives in that flat, so Danny calls to check if there's a leak in the bathroom. In reality, Jason is using a lot of water to clean up the blood. While Jason is on the phone, the doorbell rings. He drops the phone and goes to open the door. Danny calls him again. The phone, set to vibrate, starts vibrating and falls into a bag, and the bag gets shut. When Jason opens the door, Olga is standing there. She has come to his flat for a routine check. Seeing the condition of the flat, she gets angry at him. For a moment, Jason considers killing Olga, but then she tells someone over the phone that she is in flat number 102, so Jason abandons his plan. The next day, Lily helps Johnny get his car out of the lot. He gives her his card and tells her to call him if she ever needs help. This shows that Johnny, despite his thug-like appearance, is actually a good-hearted person. As soon as Julia sees Lily, she is reminded of Nina, so she brings her home. Lily reveals that Nina also went to the same school as her. However, after leaving Lily's house, Jason starts staring suspiciously at Lily, which Julia notices. On the way, Lily finds Gary's glasses in Jason's basement and gives them to Danny. After seeing the glasses, Danny becomes suspicious and goes to Jason's house. He tells Jason he's there to check the pipes. While checking the pipes in the basement, Danny sees a girl's blood-covered hair. There are also blood splatters on the walls. The sight leaves Danny horrified, and his hands start shaking. Jason, worried that Danny might suspect something, decides to kill him. However, Danny manages to control his fear and leave Jason's house. Now, he is sure that Jason is a serial killer. He truly wants to inform the police, but he also has a compulsion. The next day, Johnny discovers that despite his warnings, Jason has parked his car in his parking space. He gets angry, beats Jason up, and tells him to move. Jason tries to fight back, but Johnny easily twists his arm. From that moment, Jason decides that one day, he will kill Johnny. At home, Julia, overwhelmed with emotion, goes into Nina's room to take the hairband she had bought for her. While looking through the drawer, she finds a calendar where Nina has erased stepmom and written mom's birthday. Seeing this, Julia starts crying. She realizes that Nina had also started to see her as her real mother and was expecting love from her, something she never understood while Nina was alive. Now, she finally understands why Nina's spirit comes every night. It doesn't come to scare her, but to receive the motherly love she had been longing for. Jason takes another job. His boss tells him he'll call to let him know when he's due to start work. Jason then realizes he left his phone at home. He goes back and tries to get it, but finds out it's locked inside his bag, which can only be opened with a pin, and he doesn't know it. So, he calls Joseph, the shopkeeper. Joseph tells him the pin is usually 000. In reality, Joseph does know the actual pin, but he doesn't want to tell Jason. So Jason comes up with a plan. He borrows Joseph's phone and gives Johnny a missed call. As he leaves, he casually asks Joseph if he likes pizza. That night, Nina's spirit visits Julia's house again. But this time, Julia isn't afraid. She understands that Nina longs for her mother's love, and that's why her soul hasn't found peace. Julia gently tells her, "You must be hungry. Eat first." Tears fill their eyes. Julia softly dries Nina's wet hair with a towel and apologizes for not being able to pick her up. They hug each other and break down in tears. Jason is determined to commit murder before leaving the area, and this time, his target is Lily. He starts planning to kidnap her. He learns that Lily gets off the bus every night at 10 p.m. He injures Joseph and takes him to his basement. Later, he orders a pizza, and Tom delivers it. When Tom checks his change, he sees fresh blood on it. He realizes something is wrong. He sneaks into Jason's house. He's about to be caught when Danny comes to his rescue. Tom explains everything to Danny, but instead of taking action, he sends Tom away. Here, it is revealed that Danny fears the police and has committed a serious crime. He has been evading the police for the past 15 years. Only 5 months are left before the 15-year statute of limitations expires. After that, the police won't be able to do anything to him. So, he doesn't want to do anything wrong during these remaining 5 months. It is then revealed that Danny was once a medical professor who received an award for his thesis. However, the thesis actually belonged to one of his students, not his. When that student threatened to expose him, Danny killed him. Now, his spirit continues to haunt him. Danny deeply regrets his actions. The spirit tells Danny, if you truly regret your actions, this time save an innocent person from death. That night, Jason calls Johnny and arrogantly tells him, get out of your car. I need to park here. Johnny gets enraged by his audacity and heads to the parking lot. Just then, Jason shows up and challenges him. He pulls out an iron bar. Enraged, Johnny starts beating him. Johnny grabs the iron bar and moves to hit him. But then Jason suddenly apologizes, because now his job is done. Johnny spits on it and leaves. As Johnny walks away, Jason's plan starts to become clear. The iron bar is actually a shovel handle, now with Johnny's fingerprints on it. Jason then puts Johnny's spit on Gary's mobile phone. His intention is to frame Johnny for Gary and Joseph's murder. He puts Gary's mobile phone into the bag with Gary's body parts. The next day, Jason begins preparing to leave. Meanwhile, Lily leaves for school, but in her hurry, she forgets her mobile phone at home. Danny also realizes that Jason has his eyes on Lily as his next target. Despite his efforts, he can't help her. He just tells her to be careful. Julia notices this as well. It turns out that Nina's spirit comes out of Jason's basement every night, terrifying him, which is why he wants to leave this place. He also begins to see Nina in Lily. Jason calls Olga to schedule a society meeting at 10 p.m. so he can attend it before leaving. His intention is to keep Olga busy so she can't pick Lily up that night. On the other hand, the police find Gary's body bag. On the shovel inside the bag, they discover Johnny's fingerprints. They also find Johnny's saliva DNA on Gary's phone. Based on this evidence, the police arrest Johnny. Danny becomes furious when he hears this because he knows that Jason is Gary's killer. The police begin interrogating Johnny. Johnny's uncle then comes in and tells the police that Johnny was with him for a long time on the night of Gary's murder. Meanwhile, in the basement, Joseph struggles to free himself. He finds a pin and uses it to open the bag. Then he calls the last number on the mobile phone inside the bag, which belongs to a pizza shop. He manages to say, help, but the phone dies due to low battery. Tom, who sits in the pizza shop, hears this and realizes that someone in Jason's house is in trouble. He immediately rushes to Jason's house. Meanwhile, Julia is waiting for Nina's spirit to return. She has cooked dinner for Nina. Just then, it starts raining. Feeling overwhelmed, Julia takes an umbrella and heads to the bus stop to pick up Nina. As she opens the umbrella, a string falls from it, and a bird picks it up. At the police station, the police ask Johnny, where is Joseph? Because he called you on the day he disappeared. This was part of Jason's plan. He had placed a missed call to Johnny from Joseph's phone that day. The police then show Johnny a shovel with his fingerprints on it. Seeing the shovel handle, Johnny immediately understands how Jason planned to trap him. When Julia arrives at the bus stop, Lily is getting off the bus. However, Olga is busy in a meeting and doesn't come to pick her up. Julia once again sees Nina in Lily. She starts taking Lily home under her umbrella. Then she notices Jason following them in a car. She understands what he's planning. Meanwhile, the bird drops the umbrella's wire into its nest, which is perched on an electric pole. The rain and the metal wire above it cause a short circuit, cutting off the electricity in the entire area. Taking advantage of the darkness, Johnny escapes custody and heads for Jason's house. Meanwhile, Danny also changes his mind and goes to Olga's place to save Lily. He finds out that Olga didn't go to the bus stop to pick her up. Seeing Jason following her, Julia stands in the middle of the road, blocking traffic and gathering a crowd. Enraged, Jason gives up his plan to kill Lily and heads toward the basement. But as soon as he reaches the basement, Joseph attacks him, and a fight breaks out. Jason stabs Joseph in the stomach. Just then, Tom arrives, and Jason decides to kill him as well. He is about to kill Tom when Danny attacks him from behind. All three of them fall down the stairs into the basement. Jason tries to stab both of them, but Johnny arrives at that moment. Just then, the lights come on, and they see Joseph lying there, badly injured. Johnny punches Jason hard and badly injures him. Danny, standing there, believes that Jason has killed Lily. He starts seeing Lily's corpse. In a frenzy, Danny picks up a block of wood and hits Jason hard on the head. Jason dies on the spot. Joseph is taken to the hospital, and Lily arrives safely with Julia. Olga hugs Lily tightly. Julia feels some comfort knowing that while she couldn't save Nina, she did save Lily. The police still arrest Johnny, but he is later released, possibly based on Joseph's testimony. Danny quits his job and moves away. Julia tells her husband that she doesn't want to leave the house because it holds memories of her daughter. The movie ends here. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll meet again with more amazing stories like this. Until then, goodbye, take care, and thanks for watching.